Okay, so during this uncertainty, they were also in the same mindset. People are different. Some people were more confident, will come out. Some people were too much affected mentally, psychologically. So they were pretty down in even approaching the customers, thinking that it's not the right time to discuss with them,
Yes, yes.
But with your sessions, I could feel that they had some kind of a hope, more hope than what we were telling him. Maybe hearing from a third party, they felt maybe more confident. Specifically, with your growth account approach, the free coffee or coffee which is really expensive, those sessions really help them to identify where they can actually spend more time and get more revenue. I think this month we spent our time. Maybe I couldn't do it explicitly to reply to you, but yeah, there were many things happening. At least for us, yeah, the business was good, but not to the point where it should be. Many things happened in the background, but yeah, I feel that we will see a good outcome out of this. I can see my team approaching customers who has potential, but they were afraid to approach, and some of the areas where even I was surprised that okay, yeah, really this guy has a requirement, but we were reluctant to reach out to this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are hoping for a good outcome out of it. Yes.
Thank you for sharing. And you know what they say, sometimes when we negotiate with ourselves, we are our toughest critics. So but
Yeah.
when we're automatically thinking it's a lost case,
Yeah.
we don't take action. But so one thing is for people to show up, but really to consume the content and have these mind shifts.
Yeah.
That is back to you and your team, because it's one thing for me to do something, but for all of you to come together. And they say it's about courage, going out of the comfort zone, trying to get facing the fear of rejection,
Yeah.
but facing it front on and getting these opportunities open up where
Yeah.
we didn't think there were opportunities. So well done to you and your team.
Perfect. Thank you.
No, pleasure. If I were to ask you one other things, several team members spoke about opportunities that closed as a result of what they have done. Can you maybe discuss, or can you think of maybe one or two examples of some of your team members? Because I don't know who's with you, who's with Rahul.
See, for me, I have Azam, Elisar, and Evans.
Okay.
Usually for us, the life cycle for closing a job is much higher. It's
Okay.
between 6 months to 1 year.
Yeah.
Did we close anything per se? Not specifically. However, I feel that it will have a reasonable impact in coming months. I mean, specifically from Azam.
Yeah, he mentioned that one opportunity
yes,
came. So
yes.
it's like, there are stages, but as long
Exactly.
as it's moving to the
Yeah,
next stage.
it is moving. I would say that opportunity, what he discussed, I don't know to disclose the name, but yeah, it's about maybe $52,000, which is like a reasonable value. Another thing which I learned is, not to be the guy who takes the spotlight. I think this was mentioned in your first or second session as well, where you should be the guy who is observing and giving them a feedback. Specifically in the last session, when you said, I was sitting there, I remember, and you said, ask the right questions and be the guy who can coach them by asking them questions. So from that point, I had maybe 4 or 5 meetings with the team where I was just in the background. I will let them do the talking. And once we are out, I will just maybe have a conversation with them. Okay, what would have happened if you would have said this? Imagine if this was asked, what would customer say or what would customer think? So this is how they started thinking about the whole conversation. It's a good way. Like, sometimes you're set in your ways after working. Like personally, I'm doing this for maybe 17, 18 years. So yeah, I am open to things. That's why I keep applying whatever I learn. But sometimes you have your ways, but then you identify new things, you apply it, and then you see, yeah, it works. I think it's a very important thing, as you said, is you should be open, keep your ego outside. Yeah, maybe you are a star, you are bringing your numbers every year. Doesn't mean that you are a good leader with your team as well. Maybe if you give them more, maybe you will have more darshat in the market to bring in the numbers. Like you don't need to be present in every room.
I think you're describing this, you've been in sales for 17 years. It comes a time where it becomes a routine, yet going back to the drawing board and figuring out there is still room of getting better. There is still ways of improving. What would you tell another, let's say, sales leader, another business owner that has a team and they're doing well? What would you tell them about they're considering to look at this course or look at the Selling Through Uncertainty program for themselves or that team?
See, I would say just bringing the numbers or the revenue is not the only sole purpose of a leader. At the same time, you need to see how good your team is with the customers, or are they delivering the right pitch or the right idea to the customers as well.
This impacts their image. This
exactly.
impacts the culture.
Exactly, because I feel they are the face of the company, not you.
Yeah.
Because they represent your company in front of customers. So I feel as long as you can keep improving them, they will also stay with you for a longer period of time. They will also perceive a value that, okay, if I stay with the organization, not necessarily I'm getting the right monetary outcome, but I'm growing personally with the organization. So that will help them to grow personally and stay with you for a longer period of time.
You know, I always tell my team, if you're not learning, it's time to look for something where you can learn from, because life and today we got the speed of change is happening very fast. So, you gotta become a good student of how to learn. You gotta be a student of life, student of the technology, and of course, in our case, student of what humans can do and not machines. So it's our ability to amplify our communication, our emotional intelligence, our ability to spot and track, read people. I mean, it's really what will differentiate those that will dominate in the next 3 to 5 years.